Hey Techno Freaks, Techno Odin here, continuing the character breakdowns for Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. This time, if it's a Beowulf you seek, address yourself to me, with Ramza. Seriously, his quotes suck!
I may very well be able to help you.
A specialist, Ramza is the true tactician, always staying focused, able to rally the troops and boost morale, or lead the charge with a battle cry. He does this through his unique mechanic, which also is tied to his unique EX skill, Focus. So normally I don't make this a habit of talking about EX skills this early, but with Ramza you kind of have to. Initially his unique EX skill sits on a "this is to go even further beyond" 3-minute cooldown, which, just for reference, take out the filler from the show, and his EX skill cooldown takes longer than it actually takes Goku to go Super Saiyan 3. Luckily, by holding the EX skill button when the bar isn't full, Ramza will use Focus, allowing him to charge his EX skill meter, filling it within seconds. When full, Ramza can choose between two EX skill options: the self-buffing Shout, or the teammate buffing Galvanize. Pressing the EX skill button when the meter is full will activate Shout, allowing Ramza to perform an intimidating battle cry, increasing his damage, range and speed, while also upgrading his BP attack properties for about 25 seconds. By holding the EX skill button down when the meter is full, Ramza uses Galvanize, increasing your team's attack, defense and speed, while also boosting their BP by 7 BP per second for over 35 seconds. The main trick is knowing when to use which, and this has people divided, one side favouring Galvanize first, the others Shout. All I can say is, looking at numbers, Shout lasts for 25 seconds, Focus charges for around 3, you use Shout, charge for Galvanize, then you use Galvanize. That timer is already ticking down to the point you're going to need to focus up again just to be safe, so you've already wasted about 6 seconds of Shout at the beginning of a fight and no extra BP to show in the footsie part of the game. So generally the combo of Focus, Galvanize, Focus, Shout at the start might seem the optimal option on paper, but let's wait till my closing thoughts. BP attacks are as followed, and I will say, whenever I talk about these attacks more battle utility wise, I'm most likely talking about the Shout versions, as really his whole shtick is you should be in Shout most of the time, and the normal versions are kind of only use if you have to. His neutral ground Graceful Swings is a 2-input attack that has Ramza perform a upward slash before a horizontal slash, sending the opponent flying for a wall rush. In Shout, the attack becomes a combo extender, meaning he can perform the full string without needing the first blow to land, similar to the likes of Sephiroth and Eject. Nothing really special to say about the move, it has some good verticality, but awful tracking even when in Shout. Both his forward ground and are Rush and Airborne Rush, and these are your bog standard charge attacks we've seen on a lot of characters. And I'm bunching them together as there's literally no difference. This move has Ramza perform a shoulder charge that damages the opponent throughout, then finishes with a rolling elbow to the face, sending the opponent flying for the wall rush. Like with Graceful Swings, when in Shout, they become a combo extender, but instead of a rolling elbow, Ramza will finish with a sword thrust, adding a bit more range to the attack. This move is a great get-in tool, but also I just find it such a great bait attack. There have been a lot of situations that I have thrown this out just to close the distance and use the second hit to poke someone going for a whiff punish or to try and evade. His backwards ground is Stone Throw, a chargeable medium to long range direct projectile where Ramza, you guessed it, throws a stone at the opponent. Range is very decent, starting with the line between Zone 2 and 3 on your radar, with the full charge extending to the line between Zones 3 and 4. When in Shout, the move becomes Astral Munition, where Ramza shoots a spear-like beam at the opponent. The move has more range, damage and tracking than Stone Throw, and just like all charge moves, can allow for the change of targets, making it harder for enemies to deal with in the neutral. But don't cut Stone Throw short. The move is quite quick and works great as a get-off-me tool. His neutral air, Golden Cross, is basically graceful swings, but instead of an upward slash, he performs a downward slash, followed by a horizontal slash, making a cross-like motion. Otherwise, there's nothing really different. Use it for close range or BP combo enders. His backwards air is Ultima, Ramza's ultimate Squire ability. This has Ramza send down a meteor of magical energy to cause a small explosion on impact. While in Shout, Ultima increases in size, and its range extends from the line between Zones 2 and 3 to the line between Zones 3 and 4. This move is okay for crowd control, but not much else is going for it. It's very slow on start, which makes it really readable, so not something you just want to throw out in a 1v1. His dash attack, Reaper, is a simple, quick slash attack that does okay damage, not much really to say on this. However, when in Shout, this move becomes Blade Flash, the greatest version of Cloud's dash attack type we will ever see. This move goes from simple spin slash attack to a double spin slash that shoots out a golden horizontal blade beam for that extra range. Seriously, this is your go-to offense move in Shout, as it does a decent amount of damage and it's hard to just beat, as you can throw it out a little bit earlier than the normal range, but still get in the projectile range that makes this attack stupid good. For HP attacks, we start with Enervate, a 3-slash attack similar to Cloud's Cross Slash, and I really had difficulty trying to find a reference to this attack in Tactics. The closest I can gather is it's a combination of 3 of the Knight's Art of War techniques: Shield Break, Power Break, and Speed Break. The reason this references these moves is because each hit of the attack will inflict the Dissidia debuff equivalent: Rend Shield, Weaken, and Lethargy, in that order, for about 15 seconds. Now, each debuff is tied to the actual hit. Missing the first 2 and landing the last hit will only inflict the last debuff of the 3. His second HP attack, Earth Render, is another wave move, this time based on the monk martial art Earth Slash. Range is that of your standard wave move, talking Zone 3 on the radar, so pretty good. It's kinda slow on startup, but the wave itself is quite quick, so it kinda cancels itself out. It seems to be able to combo off wall rushes if you are fast enough, but even if you aren't, the slow startup and great initial tracking can still bait opponents trying to dodge. His third HP attack, Holy, is a search style attack similar to the Onion Knight's Meteor, and based on the White Mage's ultimate white magic ability of the same name. Range is okay, landing just on the line between Zones 3 and 4 on your radar, but it's really slow, and the projectile itself seems a little inconsistent. Still great for crowd control and core defense, but that's about it. His fourth HP attack is Chirurgy Radin, and it's based on the ultimate Samurai Ido of the same name. This is a spherical version of Garland's Blaze HP attack. It's quite quick, has a draw effect, it can combo off wall rushes, and can be great as a get-off-me tool. But which is better? I tend to use Earth Render and Chirurgy Radin as my go-to moves. Earth Render's bizarre startup but fast wave really throws people off, and nets a lot more incaps than it really should, and Chirurgy Radin is just awesome. It multi-incaps, it pretty much acts like a barrier against melee HP moves, and deals with them even better than the likes of Blaze and Vortex of Arms due to its sphere-like shape. Its main downside is, just like Blaze, you are a sitting duck when you use it, so if you mistime your attack and they have a ranged HP attack, it's pretty much duck season. Holy isn't all that bad either, but I felt like the slow startup of an active speed made it hard to just land compared to other search attacks. Sure, if they are completely static or going for a wall combo, you might hit them, but you could easily just dash into Earthrender range and get the same outcome. Innovate, Full Break, whatever you want to call it, is really low on my list. It lacks the great features that Cross-Slash has to make the move work, and the debuffs look great on paper, but if we get into actual math, the debuffs last for around 15 seconds, but the HP attack leaves the opponent invincible for 8. Meaning by the time you or your teammate is able to attack them again, there will only be 7 seconds left on the debuff. Not to mention that once they are in the invincible state, there isn't much reason to hound the opponent. In fact, the move is teaching you bad habits by wanting you or your teammate to stalk the inflicted opponent instead of ganking up on another enemy. And for that reason alone, it's just bad. For general EX skills, I like to throw out either Dispelga, Revivify, and most importantly, Boon. Dispelga removes any general buffs the enemy team gets and can really stop them in their tracks. Oh, you have Mighty Strikes and HP regen activated? Gone! But seriously, it's a great move I don't get to talk about often enough. Another one I don't get to praise enough is Revivify. Upping the speed of yourself and the team can really help conserve dash meter, and combine that with the speed boost Galvanize gives to your teammates, pop Revivify on a Galvanized Assassin and they won't even see them coming. And once again, Boon. Seriously, this little gem is a must for any buffing character, and the fact that I hear about people leaving the games because they encounter a buffing character running it really angers me. Toxicity against players trying something new is not going to help this community at all. As for team comp, he kind of works on any team, which is a common thing for specialists, but if you want to be gimmicky, throw in a Kudra or a Bartz for that full buff shenanigans, and a solid marksman like Y'shtola or Shantoto, and you'll do fine. But more importantly, you want someone to help keep the pressure off you while you're charging, so a Vanguard like Cecil will be a godsend. Overall, Ramza really surprised me when I picked him up. The character can deal some decent damage and has great utility, and also really teaches you how to deal with pressure. More than likely, you are the prime target as you are starting off the match building your focus, meaning an assassin or a marksman will more or less gun for you to stop you getting full charge and shaping the match your way. So you are going to have to mix in dodges and attacks with quick little charges here and there until you get some space to work with. Really, during these types of starts, it's up to your team to help keep the pressure off you while you charge, as although you have to learn to deal with pressure, Ramza really hasn't got that much in his kit to actually deal with any pressure. This is why it's a team game, and I will say this is to anyone looking at this: if you take anything away from this breakdown, even if you don't pick Ramza, protect the players who do. When he gets things going, he is dangerous and will make you dangerous. But you gotta let him get there. And Ramza's, remember to utilize that focus and get those shout power dash attacks off, and blitz and pop off a HP attack here and there, and that should give you enough time to focus up for when you need to shout or galvanize later on. And always know that if endeavored, it can be done.
I ask you this, do you now believe in our might?
Okay, that's it for today's breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell thingy, and share this video. Also, if you have any tips or tricks you found yourself, please share them in the comment section below. And finally, tune in next time. What? Yeah, we like chocobos. Is there something wrong with that? With Ace! But until that day, This has been Techno Odin. Take care.